Say yes to new beginnings.
Yes.
Say yes to new standards of excellence.
Yes.
Say yes to engaging reportage with a difference.
Yes.
Introducing Yes International Magazine. The time to say yes to your dreams and aspirations is here.
What business lessons does a comedian need to explore, to be known, to make a name for himself or herself?
I didn't get that correctly.
What business lessons does a comedian need to make it in your
Well, as the
sector?
money comes, invest. As the money comes, invest. Knowing that you're not going to be number one forever. It's almost impossible because other people are getting inspired by the day and they want to play. So as you get money, invest. Invest in properties, invest in shares, invest in all those things. And so that when you're not very active again, you can be also be getting money from such places. And it is often said that for you to have Garden of Eden on earth, you have to have nothing less than 4 streams of income. So business-wise, as you do comedy, doors will begin to open for you for some of the things. If you can do business alongside, that's fine. But most especially, try to invest, right? So that helps. So by the time the gift is not as bright as it used to be, at least you see comfort. That's how I see it.
Interesting. Now, what should an upcoming comedian do to distinguish himself?
Well, if you're an upcomer, listen and listen good. The truth of the matter, you must realize that the profession you're about to take is not a joke. You see, my father used to say that the place you will go to, that you know that you have the mind to sleep over, you don't go in a hurry, you take your time. You know, so if you are a comedian and you want to get into a business, boy, be ready because, hey, when I came into the business, I killed sharks, I killed whales, I killed Goliath before I was able to get a place. So you don't just come into this comedy thinking that you have 5 jokes that people are clapping for you for. That is not the end of the joke. The greater work even comes when you are not known as a comedian. How do you sustain it? So you must realize that the job you are coming into is not a 10-year job. It's almost like a lifetime. The older you get, the sweeter. So you must be prepared. You must be ready. You must be hardworking because your materials must be fresh. We've had you say the material 2-3 times. People are not tired. They want to hear something else. You know, so when you don't just come into any profession thinking that, okay, people said that you're good at it, you will because see a lot of people who came like that and they couldn't sustain. That's one. Secondly, you must be creative. You must be creative. You must be creative about this job that is called comedy because it is the crown of any comedian. Your ability to come up with something fresh all the time makes you a better comedian. Number 3, you don't forget the God factor. Man, hey, if you come into this industry, you will know that there are devils in this Nigeria you have never known. I can't even begin to tell you the level of temptations I have faced. You know, in this our work right now, I can't even begin to tell you. If you are not careful, they will sideline you, they will gang up against you, they will lie against you, they will do things to you that will break your heart forever. You know, the game is going up every day. There's all kind of cliques now. There's all kind of occultism in the game. There's all kind of shit in the game. Right now, if you don't have the God factor, don't even try to run this race. Because life is death or life. That is it. You choose life or you choose death. If you either choose God or you choose the devil. So if you are coming into this industry, be ready to choose either of the master. And make sure you are strong with what you believe. Because when me, God was talking to you, I have been poisoned before. In a call hotel, my drink was poisoned. It took the intervention of Jehovah for me to be talking to you today. Why?
Wow.
Because they felt I've been in the game for a long time. And why am I not retiring? As if I have another. I'm a commander for crying out loud.
All right.
If you are coming to this game, be ready, bro. Don't just say, God knows, I heard he crack a joke. He's fine. He's wearing nice clothes. He's driving a good car. He's living in a good house. So I want to be a comedian. Man, we have vampires in this our game. If you do anyhow, you will see anyhow. You just have to be ready. So it is with every other profession, I'm sure. But when we started comedy, it was not like that. But now the game is gone to another level. So you must be ready to kill your Goliath and everybody to have the space in this thing called comedy. Apart from the fact that you're funny, you have to be ready for what you're going for. It is crazy right now. The game is dirty. I said it. Yeah, the game is dirty. Come, let's play. But you must be ready. In every area, you must be ready. Otherwise, you will have enough jokes, but nobody funny.
When a comedian is contracted for an event, what can do?
Well, I don't know of any comedian, but I can only speak of. As a comedian, for any event, number one, make sure you attend. As a young comedian, I failed in that area, but as I matured, I started developing strength in that area. When you invite me for a show, I do my best to be there. As a young comedian, yeah, we make mistakes. Some of the shows we couldn't make it, and that wasn't good for us and for the job that we do. So, but if you are invited as a comedian, please do as much as possible to attend the show. And then don't just attend the show, arrive the show 2 hours or an hour before the show. Let it be that they are the one that is found wanting. You are the one waiting for them. You know, if you can do that, if you can be consistent, and if you are punctual, yeah, I think it's good for event. If you are invited for event, and then once you are invited for event, study for the event. Study for it, because as a comedian, we have different nature for all kind of events. The way you handle a corporate event is not the way you handle a street event or a comedy lounge event or a birthday event or a political event. So if you are invited, for instance, for a corporate event, you go to your drawing board and study. There are formats. There are ways you must follow to be able to arrive successfully. Your takeoff and your landing in any event is very key. Your opening and your closing, because you are as good as your last show. And so you do the small shows like you are doing the big ones. So you cannot be found wanting as a comedian at any time. If you are invited, your business is to make sure that when they are thinking about comedy again for another show, the people will have no choice but to remember you. So at that level, punctuality is key, decorum is key, discipline is key. And then approach is key. The way I approach a church event is not the way I will approach a mosque event or a Muslim event. The way I approach a corporate event is not the way I will approach a night of 1,000 laughs. Do you understand? The way I will approach a 50th birthday is not the way I will approach a 30th birthday. So there are formats you must follow in order to have a fantastic event. The idea is for you to do event so good that when the people present are thinking of any other thing like coming again, their mind cannot even begin to think of another. That is the purpose why you were invited. So you do the small shows like you are doing the big one. If you are invited for a house fellowship, do it like you are invited for House of the Rock experience. That's how it works. So, as a comedian, if you are invited, be ready. Give the people value for their money. Yeah? And be very sensitive. Because you know that this world that we live in, there are sensitive people. There are sensitive people right now. There are some people that are very sensitive to certain kind of words, to certain kind of thing. So when you go there, as a comedian, number one, to do audience analysis. In fact, from the invitation, you should do your audience analysis. Know that this show that I'm doing, this is how it is. Yeah? A couple of times, I've been invited to my chairman's house to perform. Now, once I get an invitation to perform, and I know it's chairman's event, in my mind, I've already known that chairman will not be hanging out with people who are not of the same level with him. Yeah? So from that level, I begin to have a mental inclination on how I will relate to them at that level. Because if you drop it, they will find you funny. I've gone to chairman's house before, and I saw Atiku there, and I saw Ibori there. Do you understand? I've also met the French president there. So at that level, what approach are you going to use the same approach in church for that kind of men of caliber? You can't. So you get to know that once you are invited, from the day you were invited, first of all, the hall they are using will tell you the kind of people you are going to meet. The hall. That should suggest to you the kind of people you are likely to meet. If I'm given an invitation and it's a co-hotel, I will not be preparing for a co-hotel like I'm preparing for Busan Center. You understand it? I will not.
I do.
I do. If you are invited to Intercontinental Hotel, I will not be preparing for Intercontinental Hotel like I'm preparing for Italori. It will fail. So once you get your invite, first of all, do your audience analysis. Your audience analysis will drive you into your creativity. And you select the right kind of jokes when you know your audience analysis. Because some jokes don't work for some certain class. Because what is funny to the man on the street may not be funny to the man in the office. So that is just little I know about being invited as a comedian.
Interesting. How do you determine a joke that will be funny while trying to conceptualize it?
I know a joke will be funny if the joke should make me laugh. Me that is the creator of the joke.
Okay.
Any comedian who is incapable of laughing over his own joke should not be expecting other people to laugh to his joke. You know, so I know the joke will be funny. And the harder it hits me, that's how hard it's going to hit my audience. But audience differ though. But then, once the joke is able to make you, the creator, laugh hard, at least to some certain degree, your audience will enjoy. That's how it is.
All right. What kind of jokes must a comedian not tell?
A comedian should tell every joke, as far as I'm concerned. A comedian should tell every joke. Well, a lot of people have asked me, are you a gospel comedian? I said, no, I am not a gospel comedian. But I'm a comedian who is a Christian. You know? So that understanding, I know that I can tell any joke. The bottom line, I'm hustling, I'm making my money. Now, there is nothing good or bad. Thinking make it so. So if that is true, no, a comedian should be able to tell any joke. I can tell a vulgar joke in a church, and the people will not be offended. I will use the principle of the tetracycline. It is bitter, but it is swallowable. You understand? So you can tell any all joke. There is no comedian who says, okay, I'm very ethical, I don't talk in vulgar joke. See, there are people who cannot even laugh unless the joke is vulgar. But how do you tell a vulgar joke that the people will enjoy it without feeling embarrassed. That is where skill comes into play. All right. So I think a comedian should tell it. There's no joke that is bad. It depends on where you crack it. If I have a vulgar joke and they invited me to a church, common sense should tell me not to crack the joke in the church. But if you invite me to a club, as long as you are paying me my money, and I know that people in the club, they are crazy, I give them some crazy stuff. Yeah, you are just doing your job. You are doing your job, bro.
All right.
Okay, supposing you are a Christian who works in a brewery, what would you do? Would you not resign from producing beer? Yeah, and the Bible says he that cannot pay, he that cannot take off his family is worse than an infidel. You need to make money. You work in brewery. You are not drinking, but you working. You're making your money. Yeah, that's how I work. I'm just like that. I tell any kind of joke. Vulgar, raw, clean, dirty, classical. I do all. Trust me, in front of the president of this country, in front of the president of Gambia, in front of president of Ghana, in front of any high-class human being, I've cracked a vulgar joke before. They clapped because I allowed them to use their tongue to count their teeth. They know where I was going, but I didn't hit it. I allowed them to complete it. So when you have that kind of skill, you know, any joke that comes to you is a gift. Use it well. Because you will never know when that joke will be demanded. Yeah.
Interesting. So, what is the greatest thing that comedy has done? What is the greatest thing that comedy has done?
Whew. One of the greatest things that comedy has done for me, I'm believing in myself. Comedy has made me see myself the way I ought to see myself. Comedy helped me to rise above all those negative feelings, depression, and all those things I used to feel when I was growing up. Now that I'm a comedian, because comedy has taught me how to be bold and to be confident and to believe in oneself. Comedy has taught me how to believe in yourself. And comedy has also taught me that, look, life is not that simple. You have to work it. Yeah, even if you're a comedian, not all jokes that are funny. So you got to work to make yours funny. So comedy has done a lot for me, and I appreciate God for that.
All right. What would you have wanted comedy to do for you that it has not?
What would I have wanted comedy to do for me that comedy is here to do? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Well, is really anything? I don't think so. I'm good. I don't think there's anything I really wanted comedy to do for me that he has not done. By the grace of God, I got fame and I've tasted money as well. I've gone places, I've met with people. Oh, I have popularity. I've seen people healed as a result of comedy that I did. I've seen people come to Christ because of comedy. So he's done it for us. You know, so that's it.
All right. You're one of the few comedians, who have been able to get an endorsement deal from a telecommunication company. That's talking about Glow. How does that make you feel? And what did you think made you qualify for that role?
Well, no, first of all, when I got an endorsement from Globacom, that was a huge landmark for me. That suggested to me that, well, I've been good in doing what I know how to do, to a point that somebody now recognizes that, yeah, I appreciate what you do. So I felt very much appreciated for the first time in doing comedy for this many years. That's one thing. And secondly, that also added value to what I do. Value. Took me beyond boundaries. Took me far beyond what I can ever imagine. You know, and thirdly, there's no family like Globacom. If you don't belong to that family, I'm sorry. My God. My God, there's no family like Globacom. I'm sorry, but hey, you wouldn't understand. But I think we were only 3 comedians who could make it. Basket, Bobby, and myself, the stand-up comedian who could make it to Globacom endorsement. Ask them; they will tell you there's no family like Globacom. They don't. If our Globacom should be like what is it? Is it Tottenham or what? That they say you never walk alone. What? That's Liverpool.
Liverpool. Liverpool.
Liverpool. Globacom should also add that kind of thing to their logo. You never walk alone. Once you are a Globacom family, they don't leave you alone. Yeah, they don't leave you alone. And it's one of the most outstanding thing that happened to me in terms of my career as a comedian. I am grateful that I came into that family, and since then I've not regretted it. Yeah.
Wow. Earlier on, you were saying something about the chairman. I knew you to Dr. Macadenuga Jr.
My chairman is my chairman. Just leave
What
the name for now.
would you say has been the greatest lesson you have learned from this?
You said what?
What has been the greatest lesson that you have learned from this?
See, let me tell you. One of the lessons I've learned from Chief Mike Adenuga Jr. is that you be a lion and a lamb at the same time. His level of humility is humbling. Let me tell you how it works. This man is doing his birthday. I mean, I call it the chair of all chair. He's doing his birthday. I guess people who attended just 7. He didn't close no street. He didn't shut the nation. This man got money to buy Nigeria have some change. He didn't do that. Nobody even knew. It was not on the news. It was not on the paper. You know, how amazing a man can be a lion and a lamb at the same time. He got so much, but decided to live like he ain't got nothing. You will not believe it. I've learned a lot from him. He doesn't like that kind of praises. Don't come and start showering praises. No. Give it all to God. For all the blessings that man has given to me, I've not had an opportunity to tell him thank you. He doesn't want it. He doesn't need it. He doesn't want it. He just believes that when God has done anything to you through go back and give God the praise. And move on. He does not lord over anybody. You can ask the worker, ask anybody who is part of that family. He doesn't lord over anybody. He's so humble. We all sit together and gist. He like to play. He like to talk. He like to play. He sees me and say, hey, and I can't give me this. We talk like we've known like all our lives. You know, he doesn't assume that position of a man who is in charge of everything. If you see, let me give you an instance. I was in this hotel called O2 with him on the island. There was just one space left for his car to come in. There was one space left for his car to come in. They reserved the space for him because he's our leader. Yeah. You will not believe it. Chairman arrived with a 2002 Lexus Jeep, that old one. That was what he came with. He wore Ankara. And then he didn't carry escort. He just had 2 bouncers in his car and he was driving himself. When he landed and he parked inside that compound on that space that was left for him, the gatekeepers came to him and said, Oga, Abel, park outside. We are special man. Park outside. Oh, yes. I was the MC, like I tell you. He said, Oga, Abel, park outside with the special man. So, and he did not say, what do you mean? Am I not the chairman? He didn't say that. Guess what he said? He said, oh, sorry, I didn't know. Let me park properly. So he was trying to put the car on the reverse when the 2 bouncers came from the car and said, why are you harassing our Oga? He said, no, make it park outside because the chairman come, now where you go park? So he left the car and he was entering the restaurant. And the gate man went to meet him and said, Oga, they talk to you, not the yellow. Come park this your car outside. Do you know that chairman did not say a word? He didn't say a word. He went in and he sat on the chair that was reserved for him. That was when the gatekeeper realized that that was chairman. So he came to me and said, Godos, now, Oga Atedu Gabida, I said yes. He said, I lie. I said yes. He said, now the man will get global COVID. I said yes. The man when I hear say generator, they hear English. Now I say yes. Say money is a bastard. I laugh. That was, in fact, that display was a show. I made about 10 jokes out of that show. The man said, money is a bastard. God, also, I swear, if na me get the kind of money where this man get, heaven no. Say, human being no. Now say, no wonder God not give you the money. That's why God does it. The man went up. He said, because we were in this restaurant when the particular rapper, MC rapper, came. He said, Oga, we don't see where pass. That's chairman for you. A man who has been so blessed, but so humble, you wouldn't even believe he got nothing. You know, these are lessons I've learned from him. That's why I keep it cool. You know, I just keep it cool because life is like that. You keep it calm. Yes, sir.
All right, I'll take two more questions because we actually at the briefly close one. Yes. Number one is tell me your most memorable outing so far. Your most memorable performance.
Well, a lot of them, but
one.
I can never forget the first time I hosted the experience. Was that 2015 or thereabout? I hosted the experience. That was remarkable for me. I performed in front of 500,000 people. It was huge. I could just hear the reverberation of laughter from every angle. That was life-changing and life-transforming for me. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Finally, your outing so far.
Huh?
Your worst outing.
Yeah, the worst outing gets to be the one I did at Concerning Light in Abuja, that I was escorted to my hotel room. SSS escorted me to my hotel room and said, "Don't, if you move, we move you." That's beautiful. That's the one so far.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So it's been wonderful talking to you, Don. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm very grateful. I look forward to doing it some other time. Thank you.
I appreciate you. Yes, I appreciate it. Thank you, Azuh. God bless.